We continue on our exploration of machines that are not working, that we wish we could get working. In previous episodes, I looked through a lot. Oh, there's a SID chip. I did. Let's see, what is this? Oh, sorry, that's a big 20. That is for another day. Great. I see down below me a Commodore 64. Looks like it probably came from the school board in Durham at some point. And what does it say? Missing chip, missing big chip, missing a pin, no screen flash. Oh, okay. Well, what could that mean? And more importantly, right now, where is my screwdriver? Oh, okay. So when a big chip is missing a pin, or any chip is missing a pin, the chances of it working are greatly diminished. Oh, alright. I do not like dropping screws. I will find that later. So, come on. This too. Come on. We do not need the keyboard. Ooh, not this one. Alright, so this machine, wow, throwing. We're not going to be able to do a whole lot with it because, well, there's not a whole lot socketed. One 6526 chip, one SID chip, one video chip that we know is missing a pin. But we must try. So, because of course SID chips are always of interest to me, I'm going to extract this one. I would like to think it's working, but I don't know. Anyway, the pins, they are good. The machine, that machine is off. I'm sure most people out there know this, but you never know who's watching. The SID chip is the magical sound chip on the Commodore 64 and the Commodore 128. They have different numbers. There are different versions. Some people like different versions. But they are what make. Oops, I see a pin. It's just a little gentle. And this is one of those times where I must be careful to get the right chip out, because this is the SID chip is a long chip row on this board, but not on this board. So I did not foul it up. So we'll just turn that on. It will do the dead test. At least I'm hoping it will do the dead test. Okay, dead test is up. Because that will take a moment, and it is actually the sound we need. Although, if any other errors pop up, we will be interested in this. Oh my, this is a very tall socket with very little room. Oh, there we go, to get underneath, but I got underneath. I don't know how well you can see it, but it has. There we go, and I see some. Anyway, it has a very tall, strange socket, and I do see not a broken pin, but certainly one on this. Both of the ones at the end here are a little bent. But that's, oh my. This chip definitely has been changed. Definitely. Because this one has a Commodore logo, like the Chicken Lips logo. And it says 6526. It also says 7th month of 1990. My word. Whereas the rest of the chips in this machine are all, well, they're from 83 mostly, and 84. Yeah. Oh no. So that is probably why it has been socketed, because there was trouble. Okay. We hear things. And what do we hear? We hear a SID chip. Life is good. Alright. So this chip came out of U1. So come on, carefully. Carefully. Or even then, it's giving me a bit of time. We're going to remove that chip. Now, it's funny, you know, with pins, even if they're bent, they're probably okay. And you just got to be so careful, because they've only got so much bend in them. But I think these are okay. They have a bit of a curl to them. But I will watch carefully as I line them up and apply pressure to make sure that they go in and they do not get squirted out the end. Oh, and, right. The finger ripping cartridge must come out. Turn on, and the machine will come up, and life is good. Now, I think I told you before, I'd had a big chip that had a pin that was so badly bent there was no way it was making contact. No way at all. And this one has one that is really broken off. I don't remember which one was fouled on the one that was working but had the very bent pin. I don't remember which pin. I know it was one of the corner ones. So, just because I'm here and I can, I'm going to try this chip that is missing one pin in this machine. Now, do I think it's going to work? No. Do I think it's going to do any harm? No. Not at all. And you know what? If I had like a little pin here, it'd be tempting. Maybe I'll try that. Anyway, let's just see what happens without, yeah, okay, it's not happening. Now, the chip is in okay, it's in okay. This screwdriver, I think, is just a little too big to do this. And I don't think I have a pin handy that I could do this with. So you know what, I'm not going to. I don't know for sure that this is off, that this video chip is broken or not. But it certainly will not work without this pin connected. So, but this machine has many things in it that still need to be tested. So, I'm going to put this back in here. And, yep, big chip missing pin, no screen flash. So, I'm going to document this and put it in the pile of machines that is not working. And carry on with more tests. Hi, I'm back. One last thing that I just thought of. And I'm suspecting the reason there was no screen flash on that Commodore 64, the one I'm looking at now, that has the SID chip with a broken pin, of course, is, of course, because the SID chip has a broken pin. Makes sense. Oh, heavens. But there's also the possibility it has a bad fuse. And as I went to take this fuse out, the end popped off. Well, that's not necessarily good. But I will try to see if that makes any difference. Aha! Oh, well. Hang on. I have not yet put the video chip back in. Alright, let's try that again. Okay. Alright, so the fuse is okay. Okay. It wasn't the fuse. Although it's a little wonky, but I'll just leave it as that. I shall. So maybe, while I'm here, here's to the previous machines. And as this has become sort of a more of a sort of recovery than a rescue mission, maybe I'll just snag the fuses and give them a try as well. Ooh. The fuses are rather well sprung, as they should be. Good. Parts are always good. And one more fuse. So unfortunately, we're not able to do a whole lot on this previous machine because not much is socketed. But we shall see. So that is off. And that is on. Okay. So we have some fuses. We do. Alright, we're still cooking with gas, we're still working. So I've decided just moments ago, I made an executive decision. These machines that I've been checking that need more attention than what I can do now, I'm not going to leave most of them didn't have the keyboards on them. I'm going to leave the keyboards off because they too need to be checked and need to be sorted and figured. So, and I have 3 certifiable, not dead machines, but not very healthy machines. I do. So I'm going to start a special box or bin with them as I continue to investigate. Anyway, I will now find another machine, continue to do things that hopefully bring one machine back to life. I now have lots of extra chips here. Here's hoping. Stay tuned. Thank you for coming. Bye for now. Hello. This white stuff is good. It's good to have on the chips when they're in the machine. But I'm going to rub it off here for the moment because I'm going to be using this to test things, and I don't want to get all dirty. I can always put more of it on. I have more of it. I can always replace it. Also, once you have it off, it makes it much easier to see. Oh, what is that stuff? To see the date code on such a chip. Sorry, there's just a little something, and I don't think it will short out the chips or the pins. I'd just like to be better. So I'm going to put that over with the good chips, and then we're going to reach down, 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 and find another Commodore 64 with some broken keys. Oh, this is the revision A board. Dead. No LED. Dead test failed. Dead, dead, dead. Oh, and no screws. Okay, so when I say revision A board, I mean this is old. This is assembly 326629 revision A 1982 Commodore 64. This is indeed old. It's not as rare as the B versions. There were, from what I heard, somebody told me there was A, B, and C. A's were kind of common, C's were more, they were, but B's, which is what I had before, the Jim Butterfield machine was a revision B. Now, what are all these changes? I don't know. I don't. But anyway, this is, this, of any board, if I could get this one working, this would be the one I'd like to get working. This one. So, now one thing I believe I tried to get the cover off the video chip, and it was being difficult, but here we go, it's still being difficult, but I've got it loose. It's kind of, there's a heat sink down at the far end here. There we go. Okay, we'll set that over here. There's this funny heat sink here, which is not on some of the later versions at all, only on early ones, but it was giving it a bit of a hard time. And there seems to be some kind of, I don't know what, on the video chip. But the nice thing about this reminds me of my very first 64, which somewhere I still have, I think. But most of the chips are socketed. Not all, but most. So there is hope that we might be able to revive this. And of course, where do we start? Oh, by the way, this is different again. On the boards I've been speaking about in other episodes, the PLA chip and the VIC chip are sometimes along chip row and sometimes down below, and they swap back and forth. On this one, don't do that, holy crap. On this one, the PLA chip and the VIC chip are not on chip row, they're both down below. Oh dear. Excuse me. Okay. So the first obvious thing to do, sure, let me look at the instructions or what I did. No LED. Dead test failed. Well, I suppose, okay, that is off. You know what, just for fun. And we're here. Let's just pop out the fuse. And it looks okay. But who knows? So, pops in, turn it on, we have screen flash, we're okay. Good. So I'll put that back in. Now this, I would really like this to work eventually. Hello. Alright, what happened here? Now this fuse, yeah, this fuse was a little weird. I just dropped the end of it. See the end? Yeah. The end came off, which is, you know, not good. Alright, that's off. Put another fuse in. So, yeah, this fuse, I think, you know what, I mean, it works, but it's not reliable. I'm going to put it with the screws and the bad chip. So, of course, what is the first thing we could possibly contemplate changing on this old board? Well, the PLA chip. So, PLA out. And it looks like the PLA has already been changed, for it is from the 25th week of 1984. Whereas other chips in here are from 82 to 83. Alright, so it's out. Chips are good. Sorry, pins are good. I've got it in the right place. I've got it in the right way. I'm thinking this is not going to work. Huh. Well, what do you know? It did. Let me just look back to my note here. Dead test, no LED. Dead test failed. Now, does that mean it didn't? Alright. It isn't the LED didn't work, it didn't have one. Well, so that worked. That's good. Well, my gut tells me to go for the video chip. It is. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to vent some pins there. They kind of came out a little faster than I. That looks okay. It is a ceramic chip. It is. Pins look good. Computer is off. So we're going in. Configuration is correct. I have a feeling this will be bad. Of course, I've been wrong before. Well, having a good chip is never a bad thing. So, just because I don't want to get the stuff all over me, I am wiping off the white stuff. Okay, so that works. Okay, so eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which will then be the next chip to go? I'm going to try the 6510 chip. Ooh, that is fighting. Put that right there. Not of any board at this moment. As I said, I would like this one to function. But you never know, you know. It is this has been in here since the 47th, well, roughly. It was made the 47th week of 1982, so sometime after that. But no wonder. It doesn't want to come out. Okay, the pins are looking good. It's in. We're going on. And it works. Alrighty. Well, alright. A working chip is a good thing. Now, not that I think it's going to be it, but I'm going for the SID chip. This SID chip is from the 45th week of 1982. How do I know? Well, it's on the top of the chip. It says MOS. It means it came from MOS Technology, which was Commodore's chip making company. A really great thing to have your own chip making company. Then it says 6581, the name of the chip, and then it has the date code 4582. Alright, SID chip is in. I would like this to work. Okay, machine comes up. But does the SID chip work? Well, that is a fine, fine question. We will find out. Well, yeah. While waiting for that, there's the. We have 4 other chips that can come out. There's only one that cannot. 2 ROMs. And these are always, if you're not comfortable doing this, don't do it, and certainly be gentle and firm. Gentle and firm. Alright, so we have 901.225, 901.227, 901.226 is not available because it is socketed. But we have also the U2 and U1, which are the, oh dear, I've been to pin. Oh dear, this one it is giving me a hard time. Oh dear, 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 dear. Where's the picture? Okay, I think this is recoverable. Okay, come on, boy. Sometimes they just don't want to go. So what happened is, not sure if you can see that. Maybe I'll shoot a picture of it. I really hold it up. Then I'll shoot. As I was doing the screwdriver, that pin and the screwdriver came in contact and it got bent. Now, it's probably the first time it's been bent. Which means I'm suspecting I can bend it back and it'll be fine. So, anyway, just want to even know you're being careful. You know what you're doing. Sometimes things happen. They do. Alright. There's the switch chip. Alright. We'll go for one more 6526 chip, being very careful not to bend any pins. Alright, we're good. We're out. So, we're a little ahead of ourselves. But the SID chip, as much as this will test it, it's good. It went
That was easy.
if anybody is ever doing the dead test cartridge again, have it test all the voices. I don't think I did any harm. Let me just turn that on. Okay, we're still good. Alright. I would really like one of these chips to fail so that I can rescue this board without having to dig into it a whole bunch. But, as they say, never know, you know. Alright, so ROM chip out. This would be 901.225. Pins are looking good. We're in. We're on. We work. Alright. Good. I am so pleased. So now, 901.227. This one is -02. it's in. Looks good. Oh ho ho ho. Do we have a failure? Excellent. Alright, I'm just going to pop this out. Boy, you never would have suspected. Okay, pins are good. We've got it in the right. It's funny, I always wondered why. In doing these, like it goes 901-225, 901-227, 901-226. Why didn't they just have them, you know, go in order? But they didn't. So, all right, I'm going to put this back in, ensuring that it's in, it's happy, it's good, and I believe we have a failure. So this board might be able to be saved. Okay, excellent. I'm going to get this chip out of here. I'm going to put it in the plastic bag of bad chips. And then I'm going to get the chip that was in there. Is that in nice? That's in nice. I can turn it back on. Okay, and we're up and running. Okay, so the last things from this board to be checked, and notice, even though I'm happy to have found a bad chip, I'm not going to jump out of sequence. I want to test all of these, because you just never know. I mean, there was a machine recently that I fixed for a nice fellow, and the PLA chip was bad. And the one I just put in, U2 6526, it was also bad. So just because one thing has failed, okay, that's good. It doesn't mean there isn't another failure out there waiting to happen. So we're going to go for the last. Oh, come on. Good. Oh yes, this one was a little bit filled. So another 6526 chip. It's in. We're going on. Okay, so we have hope that this board can be saved. Alright, I really don't want to pop everything out of there as of yet. So I'm going to use some of the other chips. They should all be the same and all be dandy that I popped out. And I'm going to repopulate this board, this ancient version. It's good. With everything that it would need. And I'm really hoping that when I do this, that this board will function. This would be the first one from all the things I've been checking over that has been able to be rescued. So we have all the ROMs in. We're going to put in a 6510. Now, put in an older big chip. Or am I? No, I'm not. I can almost take it out. This enclosure, I know it's, you know, it had to be here, but it can be a real pain. I can't get this nice feel for the chip going in, but I did. Okay, looks okay. Now, I've got to make sure, here down below, we have where the SID chip and the PLA chip go. And I have put them in wrong before, but not on this. So, Tony, this board is not marked. Oh, yes, it is. Yeah, U17. Okay, PLA goes here. The PLA is in. I'll take a SID chip. Put it in. So, here we have a very old, original board, all repopulated after we found a bad ROM chip. Now, does that mean this is going to work? No, it does not mean that. Do I hope it works? Yes, I hope it works. I am very hopeful. So the power switch is off, power supply is in, video is in, and it is time to apply power to this machine that is indeed ancient. Alright, please work, please work, please work. Well, it did not work. But yet I know all these chips are good. So I'm just looking again to make sure that I have every chip in the right way with the witness mark. Witness marks are good. Now, of course, there's another chip here that I can't get out. There is. Maybe it's bad. Oh, I had such high hopes. Okay, let me. I'm going to pop in the dead test. It's not going to do anything. But I have to give it a try. I just had to. Oh, dear, dear, dear. I'm just double checking again. Yeah, the pins are good, everything's in, everything's fine. But there's obviously something else. It could be the socket or chip that is not socketed. I'm just touching the RAM chips and the other support chips to see if any of them are beastly hot. And they are not. There are many other things it could be amongst all these little components. But, yeah. I don't see anything obviously corroded or burned or upset. Oh dear. Well, it doesn't mean all hope is lost. This too I'm going to turn it on again to see how we're doing. Hoping. This too will go into the pile of boards. That need to be further assessed. And yes, for the moment, I will unpopulate with great care. That is turned off and unplugged. Good. Oh, I really wanted that one to work. Oh well. I still have more machines to go through. And perhaps at some point, this one will be rescued. I'm just having a look at this for a second. Just verifying. Yeah, I've got things where they're supposed to be. Oh well. Well, I have dropped the screwdriver. Perhaps that is an indication that I should take a little break. Anyway, I will set this board aside with all the others that need further investigation. And at some point, I will further investigate them. Thank you for being here.
That was easy.
Bye for now. Hello. Welcome back. I'm continuing to explore many Commodore 64s. This is my test rig. And how did it become my test rig? Well, all the main chips are in sockets. That's pretty handy. I'm just running a dead test check on it at the moment, just to make sure that I have done no harm. And of course here is another Commodore 64. All that it said Oh, this is also handy. Excuse me while I try and not to hurt things. I'm setting aside machines that are dead and need more exploration. Ooh. Ooh. Now, there is much corrosion, but this too is a 326-298 revision 1. So this is old. I don't know if, yeah, maybe it could be the original. Hard to tell, because I think if it's screwed in, yeah it is. But there's some pretty nasty. Oh, the case is broken, and especially up in this corner. I know you can't see it. I can. Oh yeah, there's some corrosion stuff. So, like this thing here has rusted off. Anyway, does that mean that this won't work? Not necessarily, but you never know. Anyway, what this was missing is a round chip. And at the time that I was dissecting things, I did not have anything handy to check anything with. But now I do. So the round chip that has failed in, or wasn't in this machine, is the 901227. So, I'm going to put one in. Now, I'm just looking at everything else. Ooh, yeah, this, somewhere, this has had some exposure to the elements. So, I am somewhat dubious. But one nice thing with this is all the RAM chips are in sockets. And that can't be bad. Alright. Now, if you have been watching previous episodes, you will know that I have been trying a lot and not having much success. I've rescued lots of chips, but not much has worked. So I'm just gazing fondly. Oh, a lot of the support chips in the video section are in sockets. The RAM chips are in sockets. This, oh, and you know what? Every other chip is in sockets. If this works, if this, and it's not going to work. It's not. But if this works, this would be perhaps a better test machine than that, perhaps. Anyway, I put in the ROM chip. I'm going to turn on the power, but it's not going to work. Alright, I didn't really see a screen flash there. Maybe I really didn't have it turned on properly. No. It's not working. Oh, that's too bad. Just going to give every chip a little push within a socket, just in case. And it's still not going to work. Oh dear. Well, I guess we might as well go over here. And since we don't have anything good to look at, oh, look at that. Alright, well that's too bad. But not unexpected, considering the corrosion that I see up here. And that this thing is like rusted off. But that does not mean we are giving up. Oh no. Nothing of the sort. What it means is turn this on and see that it still works, and it does. And then I'm going to yank out the PLA chip. Why the PLA chip? Because it's what fails the most. So this is off. PLA chip is down. I still have hopes, despite the corrosion. Ah! I dropped the chip. I still have hopes that that board can be saved. I do. Okay, PLA chip in. And it works. Alright. That's encouraging. Well, I dropped one. Let's go. I just gotta be careful. The video chip. I can get a good sproing on it, but I don't necessarily want a good sproing. I want to be gentle and firm and gentle and firm and gentle and firm. That's sweet. Looks good. Computer off. Video chip out. Video chip in. Turn it on. We're still working. Alright, you know what I'm going to do, because we've had... Oh, well, I know we had... I know this chip was the one that had to be replaced. I'm just going to, just for fun, yank out the 901227 chip, put it in, make sure it's good. It's good. Okay. And another machine that we tried that we couldn't check this chip on. Oh, no, this is a 901226. And why? I don't know. I mean, I'm just going with my gut. So the machine is off. The chip is lined up. The chip is in. Oh! Okay. Something has happened here. It came up for a second. And it was gone. Waha! Now, let me just verify I do have the right chip in there. And I do. I'll just take it out and make sure that all the pins seem to be as they should be. I'm going to set that over there. I'm going to take this chip, which is the one I just took out, and put it back in. Turn it on. Right, into the bag we go. Bad chip. Now, it's funny, at this moment, I'm not too far into this. But you know what? I'm going to continue my methodical process of changing things, because, you see, when we tested this one before, it didn't come up like that and do what it just did. So I'm tempted to think that perhaps there's some other problem besides corrosion. So we have another round chip. We're going in. Oh, we do. Look at that. Well, that was a good call. Uh-huh. Alright, hang on. I don't think you can see that very well. We have strange characters. Oh my, we have screen sparkle. Oh, and now, wait, oh, and suddenly out of nowhere, everything looks good again. And then it's kind of fade. Oh, and now it's fading away. I am. Now that was weird. Okay, it doesn't come back. So now you can kind of see it says Commodore Basic and all. But I don't know if you saw what happened there. This sparkling appeared. And then all the letters came back. And they looked okay. And then the sparkling went across. Like a magician in pixie dust. My word. And now you can kind of see it, but you can't see it. Alright, I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn this on. See what happens. Okay, it's squirrely. I don't see the pixie dust coming. And I'm waiting for the pixie dust, but it is not forthcoming. Well, that is strange. Okay, I'm going to take this chip out. That was the 901. 225. I'm not going to quite put it in the bag yet, but I'm going to put it out of the way. And I'm going to put the original that was in here back in. I'll turn it on. And now we're good. Well, that is weird. I've not seen anything like this before. Alright, we're going off. I am concerned about my battery life over there. So, I don't want to speed things up too much, because then I will hurt something, such as this 6510 chip. What I maybe need to do is get a charger down here. This, ooh, the 6510, that's good. I'm not, I can't say it has shorter pins, but it looks like it does. Like maybe it's been extracted from something. Anyway. Let's take this out. And put this one in. Oh, no, I can see already I've got this. If I push this in on this other side, it's going to go badly. Just give it a little, just a gentle push. Gentle push. And we're in. And what do we have here? Okay. So, we have the SID chip. You know what, we're not going to do the SID chip yet. We're going to go 6526 chips first. One at a time. Okay, power it off. Come on. Okay. Good. Good. We're in. We're on. We're good. down, machine off, extraction. We're in, we're on, we're up. Okay, we're going for the SID. I mean, all this time so far, as much as the dead test cartridge will test the SID, because it doesn't do the sound, or the noise voices, or the right noise voices. I don't know why, I don't know why, I don't know why. We've not had one bad yet. Not yet. Alright, power off. SID chip is in chip row this time, which is different than the early board. Okay, SID chip down, SID chip up, SID chip down, line up the pins, gentle push, SID chip in. Comes up and for the dead test cartridge. So we had two bad ROM chips in this machine, two of them. This is an early board with lots of things in sockets. I would like for this to work. Do I believe it's going to work? No, of course not. But it is worth the effort to repopulate just in case. Good is because this one would be really great for testing RAM chips and other such things. Okay. Okay. This is why we don't rush. I have just bent a pin on the SID chip. And I know why I'm rushing, because I know my battery is low. Oh, dear, dear, dear. Dum, 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 dum. I really do not want this pin too big. I don't. Haste makes waste. Okay. I believe I have rescued this. I'm going to be very careful, as I should have been in the first place, which I thought I was doing, but it didn't work out that way. Okay, so chip in. I need a PLA chip. I believe I dropped one out. This one has a little bit. With great care and reverence. Oh! Okay, I need to slow down. I just got another pin. This one may not recover. Stupid. This board does seem to have different sockets that are perhaps not as forgiving. I should be careful. Very careful. Alright. Everything looks good. Everything is good. 6510. This socket looks more normal. Okay, we're lined up. We're in. We need ROM chips. Okay, this is 901225. We're in. This is 901227. Slight bend. By the way, do I really think this is going to work? No, I don't. 901226. We're in. Okay, we're just a video chip away. Do these pins look okay? They do. Alright. Do I really want this to work? Yes, I do. Do you think it's going to work? I don't. But we must try. Alright. For our last gasp. Let's give this a try. I'm not waiting. I can't wait. I must turn it on. I saw nothing. I saw nothing. What do you mean you saw nothing? Oh, now it's frustrating as can be. Alright, hang on. Let's take this out. Let's put this in. I see. I saw something there. I saw... Well... something but nothing. Alright. It's not going to make any difference. So something is coming out of the signal. Something. Because the screen doesn't just say no signal. But it's not happening. Alright, we'll put in the dead test. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to tell us anything. So this is going to end up being another dead board that at some point I can dig into a whole bunch and see what I can see. And that's the way it is. Oh well, I had to try. Let me just take one more look at all the chips, all the pins, all the everything. Feeling the RAM chips, checking for heat. Oh well, we tried. We're not giving up. We tried. Thank you very much for being here. Our rescue searches continue, but unfortunately still we're looking at recovery missions. Oh, bye for now. Hi, thanks for coming. I was going through some more things, and I found, indeed, the Commodore 64. I did, but it is missing the PLA chip, which was, of course, the normal thing that seemed to fail. It did. But while I was going through, I thought, oh yeah, here's the, I saw the bottom of the case, here's a VIC-20. And then I started looking more closely at this VIC-20 and realized it's the bottom of the case is a VIC-20, but it is indeed Commodore 64. And it has a lot of chips that are not in place. They're not. I'm not sure if they're all here, but I don't think they are. I don't. I think what we have is a time for glasses. I think we have most of them. There was also a piece of tape over a RAM chip. So it looks like everything is here, except the SID chip, perhaps. Anyway, this will take more. Let's check in here. Yeah, video chips here. This will take more investigation. It will. So let me just go look for a couple things. Hello. Oh, so I'm back. So it does appear that a lot of the chips, except for the SID chip, are in fact with this machine. Hello, Penny. Hello, Sheldon. But you know what? Oh, that's this VIC-20, which is a 64. But this one over here is 64. That is a 64. Hi. Sheldon. Sheldon. Leave Penny alone, please. Sheldon. Stop it. Okay. So, you know what I'm going to do, just because I can, and I'm here. A lot of these chips from this machine down here have a yellow dot. What does that mean? I have no clue. But anyway, this machine is complete, but it has no PLA chip. So I'm going to steal the one from that machine. And very carefully put it in. And look over things. Everything seems to be here. But will this machine work? My gut tells me no. But then again, until we try, one never knows. So we'll hit it with power. We did see a flash. I did see a flash. But we don't see anything else. So of course now I'll take the did test cartridge that doesn't really work on machines unless they're alive. And we'll put it in and probably find that it does not appear. It does not come up, and it is not helpful. What is this chip? What is that? NA2S100N. Oh, okay. Oh, it's another PLA chip. Well, it's not special. Right. We don't know what's what with any of this. But can't hurt. Oh. Okay. Something happened there. Now remember, we still have the dead test cartridge in. Let's try that again. Okay, well that's interesting. Things are flashing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 flashes. Okay. Well, we're getting somewhere. Maybe that means the PLA chip is dead. I don't know. I just don't know. I have no clue. Now, of course, just to confuse the issue, it does nothing. Let's just turn it on without the cartridge. See if anything appears. I'm suspecting it will not. And indeed, it does not. Let's put in shoplifter. See if that does anything. Well, no. It does not. Well, so be it. I will put this dead cartridge back in. Turn on, oh yeah. Did we get a flash? Did we get something? I just don't know. Well, what I'm going to do now, because I don't want these to get lost, I don't know if there's any of them that are good, any of them that are bad, but I have a feeling if I don't put them in, they will get lost. Always check, make sure there's no bent pins, because they'll bend a time or two, but eventually they'll snap off. And there are ways to recover from that. Alright. So we got 5, 7. Wrong chips. 5. 7. What's that? Oh yeah, okay. That's the third one. I figured it would be, but then we'll never know. So all the loose chips are in. The SID chip is missing. Now, will this work? Of course not. Will I try? Sure. What the heck? There are some chips that the machine doesn't need, and some that it does. I should know if this SID chip. I suspect the machine can work without it. Or, I mean, if it's dead, I'm not hurting something. I'll just, for fun, I'll put the dead test in here. It's not going to do anything. Oh, it flashed once. Okay, that might mean something. It's funny, it's flashing once, and there is this little piece of tape, which I know you can't hardly see, but there's a little piece of tape over the first RAM chip. Secured? Not at all. Grand. Is this secured? Not really. Well. Did hurt flashes. I think it was 7. I think. And of course I gotta make sure that this board stays with that base. Oh, goodness. Okay. December 2019. Chips were out. Did cart flashes. What? No. SID. Alright. And of course it's not really fastened, and it doesn't even belong in this thing. Not a VIC-20, it is a 64. Yeah. Yeah. There's too many. Well, there's 2 more challenges. Thanks for being here. We'll see if anything works and what can be fixed. Soon. We shall. Thank you again for being here. Bye for now. Hello. Here we have another Commodore 64. It's dirty. It's yellowed. It is. Not shaken though. So, let's see if anything good comes of this. I give it power, and we see nothing. Nothing. Alright. Put in the dead test cartridge. Wait, because sometimes it takes a while for things to come up on the dead test cartridge. Of course, lately, nothing comes up on the dead test. This one, of course, has, oh, I think this has, it's not old, but just looking at, well, hard to say, maybe the stem's just white. The broken stem on this machine is different than others. It's white, but you know, there were different kinds of keyboards. There's one I found and then I couldn't find again that had innards like nothing I have seen. It wasn't the PET, it wasn't the typical thing with the X on the top, which was very strange. So, as I take these screws out, I see a little corrosion. When we open it up, well, we see, well, certainly, there's very little chance of this working, because there's no PLA chip. There's also, oh, there is. There's some pretty, well, there's some significant rust on this RF modulator thing, and dirt. There's dirt and slime. Not sure if you can see, but there is dirt and slime. But no PLA chip. So, you know, at this second, I don't even know. Like, I don't really have a good machine right handy to swap, oh dear, hello Penny, to swap anything out. But I think what I might do is set this one over here and try another, or keep it handy for the neck. There are more 64s to go through. There are. And I really don't like swapping chips that I don't know about into things, so until I find one that works, I'm not going to diddle around with it. So, another, well, possibly alive, but likely dead Commodore 64. Let me just look again here. This has, well, it has a SID chip. And the ROMs are in sockets, and there's some other chips in sockets that aren't normally, so I think this has had some work done to it. But, you know what? Parts are always good. They are. So, thank you for coming. I think now we're going to head into some more Commodore 64s and see what we can find. Bye for now. Hello. Here we have another Commodore 64. It is, of course, they are always missing some keys, although this one, the stem is okay, and this one, the stem is broken. But you know, because these are of unknown origins, and a lot of the ones that I have opened up in this batch have been missing chips, before I apply any power, I'm going to have a look. There's the screw. I don't think applying power prematurely when there are not chips in there. There's some rust. Okay, I don't like leaving that sitting like that. Ooh. So this is a somewhat older board. It is. Most of the chips are here. They are. Oh my, all the RAM chips are in sockets. My word. But there is one ROM chip missing. There's a lot of, wait, oh, yeah, there's a lot of socketed stuff here. Lost it. Ooh, that there is some corrosion. So much so, I'm not sure if I can wiggle this thing off very well. It's funny, this thing is, oh, okay, we're getting a little movement. It's so corroded. Like it has, I guess, what they would call in the antique market patina. It really, I've not seen a cover like this color before. Alright. With great care. Whoa, it's not coming. It is coming. It's not coming. Whoa. See, there are chips in here. I don't want to hurt anything. And I think I can see there's. I had another screwdriver here. What is this? Okay, here, there's a little stubby screwdriver. It might. That's right. No, that's not going to help. It's running every time. Oh, okay. Right. It is. There is more movement. It's almost like it wants to bend in the middle. Oh, okay. All right. Well, it's out. You know what? This is one of those times I'm going to be brave. Don't. Hello. I think I'm going to try the dead test cartridge immediately. As I seem to remember, some of the ROMs aren't that important when the dead test cartridge is introduced. But once again, oh, the case is broken. Once again, I think what we have here, let's see what happens. Okay, we see no power line. Do we have a fuse? did see a little... Ah, shit. Well, yeah, that's what well, the case wasn't in great shape anyway, but now one of the fingers is broken off. Great. All these years. And I doofed it. So, I don't see anything coming up on the dead test. There is significant, looks like rust up in this corner. Mostly on the screws. But boy, there's a lot of socket stuff. If this board can be rescued and work, it would make a great test thing. Now keeping in mind, it's funny, the LED is not lighting up, but there was there? I thought I saw it. Yeah, there's some, oh, maybe the power connector is a little wonky. I saw a flash up there. Well, I think we have another work in progress. Did I mark this one? Of course not. Dirty. Oh, yeah. Not surprising. It's the demon chip. What do we got here? This thing. Oh, chip. So what I mean, this is just, you know, first contact, first assessment of these things. I think oh, and this one also. That corner of the case is really smacked up. I think what I'm going to do is put this down out of the way, put this down out of the way, and keep on checking out these machines. And then, oh, looky, this very awfully corroded thing. That can go in the parts bin. Yeah. Alright, so, thanks for being here for this investigation. No answers yet, just more questions. And that's the way it is. Bye for now. So, we have another Commodore 64, and I'm definitely not going to plug this one in yet. There are noises from within. So, I think there's just one screw holding it together. Lots of strange noises from within. Alright. What are these noises? Okay, one thing. The screws missing that hold the keyboard in place. That's no big whip, most of them are missing. The LED is missing. It's funny because the LEDs are always very hard to get out because they're I think they're kind of heat shrunk in there. But anyway, what is making the noise? Oh, it's a screw. Now this this is kind of old, I think. Just a moment. But does it work? That's the question. Let me get my glasses on here. So yeah, this is a 326298 revision A. It is. All the chips are here. What does this say? Well, as this wasn't even screwed in, I don't really think this was the original case. Just a case of convenience, I suspect. So everything is here. The switch seems to be working. I don't see any obvious signs of, terrible distress. I see some dirt. Anyway, I know. You know what? I have no doubt that this is not going to work. Because that's the way it is. That's the way it's been. So, most chips are socketed, not one of the ROM chips. Let's see what happens. It would be a miracle. I see a flash. And that's all I see. A flash. I think I broke a nail. Now the other thing is I do have this, because this monitor is usually so bright, I turned it down some. Anyway, of course, it's time for the dead test. Which would probably do nothing. But you never know. Now because there is no LED, I don't even know if the LED has. Come on, yeah, I broke it down. Oh well, just a little. So nothing seems to go. Now, looking at the chips here, well, it looks like many of them are from 1982, late 92, sorry, 82. And one of them early, 83. But this is ow, ow, ow. I don't think this cartridge port was used much. Oh man. I'm just going to turn that on again. To see if it gives me. See, you know, some machines, the cartridge port might have never been used. I'm not seeing anything. Not surprising. Not surprising at all. These cartridges, oh, it hurts sometimes. Now, am I seeing? I still am seeing a bit of a flash here. Just in case there's something miraculous going on. No, nothing miraculous. I'm just going to turn that up just a bit. Just to see. So we see the flash. And that's all we see. Just for fun. I'm going to put Choplifter in. It won't work. But you know, I had to try. But this is an exciting find, in that it is a Revision A board. Although from what I understand, the A's and the C's are not as rare as the B's. Makes no sense. But anyway, it does, I suppose. So, another dead machine. Oh yeah, all the fingers are broken off that one. Okay. So, December 2019, Rev A board dead. No, LED dead test failed. So, not surprising. But you see, this is the quick, what is it, triage assessment. See what there is to see. And right now, there's not much to see. So, I can put that gently, carefully, without hurting anything on the floor. And until the next time, when probably we'll once again triage another, mostly dead, Commodore 64. Who knows, at some point we might have a surprise on one might actually work. But so far, not really. But that is part of the challenge, to resuscitate these now, well, 37-year-old computer-ish thing. Well, thanks for being here for another failure, another bad computer, a bad assessment. But there will be joy at some point when some of these machines come to life. Until then, I remain at your service. Bye for now. Hello. Thank you for being here. Here we have, yes, it's a Commodore 64. It's yellow, it's dirty. Ooh, really not holding on very much in the back there. And because of recent things and checking these out, not everyone is missing pieces and parts, but some of them are. So before applying power, I like to open them up and have a look inside. And if the finger is just broken, oh, but that's not really it. Okay, the video chip is broken. Oh, that's too bad. There are definitely well, there's one pin that's broken off. Now, does that matter? Yeah, probably. But it's funny, you know, I had another one I took out of a machine, and the one pin, there's no way it was making contact with anything. No. It was like twisted and bent. But the machine worked. And I just don't remember which one it was. So really, there's no point in putting this in. Every other chip is in here except the video chip. It is. Ugh. Yucky. And there's a lot of white goop on it. Now there are ways I've seen even using a pin to convince these to make contact. There are. Anyway, I'm going to put my glasses on. The pins, there was another one that was bent. It's still a little wonky. Yeah, it's about ready to break off. I don't think there's much hope for this as it sits. But then I don't want to lose it. So I'll put it in. And you know what, it's not going to work. But it shouldn't do. Even without that pin, it shouldn't do any harm, and it might just give us an indication. Just a little flash, a little hope. Nothing. No wonder. You know what? Oh no, it's the right way in. But when I turn this on, I do got this in, and this is still on. Yeah, I see nothing. Well, let's see. The video chip is not all there. So, not any chips and sockets. But you know, there's always hope. So another triage. Here. It's not dead. Boy, it's cute. That one will. just keep them fastened. If possible. Okay, there we go. And then of course, December 2019. Quick ship missing. You know, I type faster than I write. Missing a pin. Get ahead of myself. No. Screen. Flash. Certainly there's no point in putting the dead test cartridge in there. None at all. Alright, so we're certainly gonna have a lot of things to look at. We are. Got here. So, thank you for being here for this quick look at another Commodore 64 in need. Stay tuned. More interesting episodes to follow. Bye for now. Hi. So here we have a very yellow, ugly, dirty Victron. We do. Made in Canada. And it's yellow through and through. Well, I'm going to be brave. Perhaps foolish. Plug it in. Let's see what happens. Penny. Okay, we have screen roll. Hello, Penny. How are you doing? How are you, dear? Penny has come to just say hello for a moment. Penny. Is there room to get up here? So, we have a rolling screen. What does that mean? It means we have a rolling screen. Just for fun, I'm going to put a mega race in and probably see that not much comes of that. Indeed, not much comes of that. This machine is filthy, filthy. On the other, I'm just going to tweak the cartridge a little bit. Won't make any difference. Nope. Yep, this is very filthy. Now I suppose, because I'm here, might just as well have a look inside. Because that might possibly us an indication as to why something is, ooh. Okay, so this, boy, for all the hell in, oops, sorry, this is a smaller board. I don't know what revision, but it's smaller. Ow, 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 ow. But it looks good. But of course it's doing nothing. Well, not nothing. There is some corrosion on the shielding. Just want to get this off here. Wow. So most everything is not socketed, which in some ways I think is good. Look, there is the board. It is smaller. I think in terms of things lasting longer, like I know with Amiga 500s and other things that you type on, as well as other things like this, chips and sockets can come loose. Chips that are right on the board, it's a lot harder for them to come loose. I wonder, these covers are all so tight. Ooh, I don't think I can get it. I certainly don't want to hurt anything. Maybe this is not the time. Because I'm just going to put it back on. Made in Hong Kong. It says Calyx 25063. No, yes, 25063. Anyway, no signs of obvious trouble. The fuse is kind of cocky or cockeyed in its holder, but that will not make any difference. And it's still, you know, letting the power go through. Hello. It's the same. Well, not surprising. Another machine with issues and much yellowing. And where? Oh, there's the LED. At least I think that's the LED. Does it light up? It lights up. But the machine, she is dead. But there is hope. I mean, it has that really thing. As I said many times, perhaps many times, I've only actually ever come upon one machine that was totally dead. Scrolling display. Small board. Dead-ish. So, we'll put that down with the pile. Well, we certainly have a lot of things to look at over these last times, and we're not finished. We have more to look at. Remember, this is not fixing. This is triage. Thank you for coming. Bye for now. Hello. Here is a Commodore 64. Kinda dirty, yellowed, gross. Not terribly disgusting, but you know. So, over the past little while, I've been doing a lot of triage work, finding a lot of things that don't work out. Well, this is it. It's got its original horrid cardboard covered shieldy thing. And it's got a strange notation. Bad chip. Replaced 90610. Well, that's a good indication. So perhaps I have a clue what's wrong. Unfortunately, most everything in this machine is not socketed. And it's not that I don't trust that that's what's wrong. I'm assuming it is. It would not be unusual. But what the heck? Let's just see. We see a flash. And we see nothing. And that's sort of normal. Oh, there's the obligatory broken key. One, the shaft is broken. The other shaft is not. This will do nothing. But, you know, we'll give it a try. Anyway, somebody, I think, has already figured this out. Yeah, the LED is on. And nothing happens. It feels like, no, I guess it's okay. It felt like maybe the keyboard was a little loose in there. Anyway, well, that, somebody has looked at this at some point. They didn't put a date. I suspect it's a while ago. So, and PLA likely did cart zip. Mostly not socketed. Maybe the machines that were not socketed are more reliable, but certainly figuring them out is a whole lot easier. This case is just not lining up. Alright, well, I've kind of lost track how many machines we've been looking at. Quite a few. And as it happens, there's another one right here. So, that one was fairly quick to figure out because it already had a note in there. Let's see what we have in this one. Aha. Oh, well, we are missing the PLA, the SID chip, and one of the ROM chips. So there's really no point in plugging this in, because it's not going to work. It is not. They are most of the chips from 83 that are here, I think. Oh, no, there's one from 84. So maybe some things have just swapped. Not at all surprising. Hello, Penny. So no point in putting Penny to this. I'll hold this up. Hello, Penny. I think that's Penny. Is there two Penny? Yes, it is. Hello, Penny. If you look out of the hello, Penny. Out of the chips that are here. Hello, Penny. How are you doing? There are 3 missing chips. There are still a bunch of sockets. Anyway, maybe this can be saved, or maybe this is for parts. I don't know. That's, of course, while we're here. This one was made in Canada. It was. They made them all over the, they had factories all over the place. And I'm not sure if different factories were better than others. But just like, I guess, what Apple does now with its iPhones, you've got to have, ooh, that's not going nice. You've got to have a lot of capacity, especially if you're trying to get them under. Oh, this is interesting. On the back of this case, it has things written in the case, which I don't remember on a whole lot of machines. It has memory expansion, RF, high-low, that's for the challenge video. Oh, that's cool. And it seems to be in good shape. I don't want to break this. Anyway, I do want to put, if I can, a screw back in to affix it. Alright, so another not working machine. But there's always hope. No PLA, no SID, no ROM. Little dead hope. Anyway, parts are always good. Oh yes. Does not do much good if I don't stick it on. So, 2 more potential either fixed machines to be fixed or machines to contribute their innards to fix others. There's been a lot of that lately. Ah well, that is the way it is. So, for now, that's it. Stay tuned. I'm really hoping we have something that works or something that we can fix soon. Or not, sorry. I'm sure that some of these can be fixed, but in the initial triage stage, it is not that time. And I suspect what I'm going to do with most of them, when I open them up, is have another machine handy that has lots of things socketed, that I can swap things in and out and very quickly get an idea of chips that are working and chips that are not. And so there will probably be a secondary triage. Stay tuned. I will pet Penny. Hi, Penny. Penny, do you want to come up here? Want to come up and say hi? Want to come up here? Want to come up here? I'll help you. Here we go. Here we go, Penny. There's Penny. Yes. Penny. Penny. Yes, Penny. I know. Have you had a hard day? Have you had a hard day, Penny? Really? A hard day you've had? Oh dear. Come on. Over here. Ooh, big stretch. Big stretch. Okay. Here, Penny. Alright. There's your tummy. Oh, big stretch again. Okay, let's move the screwdrivers and stuff. Let's move the glasses. This. And the cords and the cables. Do you want to lie down? Oh, one thing I have started to do, I now have a power bar up on the table here. Bye, Penny. Bye, bye. Oh, I'll fetch some more. And whenever I'm finished doing things, it is the power bar that has the power supplies connected to it. And, like, I'll turn the monitor off and I'll turn other things off. But I turn off the power bar, oh, Penny, that has the power supplies turned in so they're not just sitting there cooking away for days and days when I'm not doing things. And that, I find, is wise. Oh, hello again. Penny's still here. Alright, I have to do some thinking, and I have to do some tinkering, and I have to see about the secondary stage of triage, because I think at this moment, for this instant, I think I have sort of initially triaged everything, well, not everything I have, but everything, you know, that's close by, that I know is here. Oh, hi Penny, yes, I will scratch you. So, stay tuned. More interesting episodes will follow, undoubtedly. Say goodnight, Penny. She is silent. Bye for now. Hello. Thanks for being here. What's going on today? Well, better turn this monitor. Alright, so I had, in the last episodes, many Commodore 64s that didn't work. So I have gathered some that do work. Ta-da! And what I'm going to do is open them up and see if I can find one that has most of the chips, not all, but as many as possible, in sockets. So I can check out and diagnose chips from these other machines. I never like to lose the screws. So this one says, works, broken case, did okay. Cart port not loaded. Well, that's the cartridge port, but it's not missing any keys. But the case is indeed broken. Alright. So, well, the PLA is in the socket, the 6510 is in the socket, one of the ROMs is in the socket, 6526 is in the socket, and I'm assuming the video chip is in the socket. So what does that mean? Somewhat helpful. Don't break the fingers. That's possible, but I would like to see more. Now, you know, this one here, this is very dirty, but I'm just going to verify that it works. But there's a reason that I'm considering. First of all, it might be an older version, sorry, a newer version of the board, and it might not be that helpful. But it may not be. But the other thing, just let me check this. Yeah, it works. The other reason I'm hesitant to open this one is the warranty sticker is still there and still intact, which means this has never been opened. So I am hesitant. So I'm going to put that one just down here. I have here one that's kind of beat up, works, ugly, dirty, broken keys. Oh yeah, the LED's recessed. But I'll turn the power switch off. But anyway, long ago I had a 64 that had most everything in sockets. I just don't know where it is. Okay, comes up and works. So let's have a look inside. You just never know what you'll find in these here machines. Alright. Screw. Hello, screw. Hello, screw. This one has 6 broken keys and stems. Fingers. Ooh. Okay, this is more helpful. SID PLA 6510, one of the ROMs, and the two 6526. So it's just 2 ROMs that are not socketed. So that too is, this is more helpful, potentially, than the previous one. But let's just have a look at number 3. The keyboard is intact. What do we see? Garage 4 seems to work. Is it okay? Cool. Oh, well, yeah, before we open her up, let's just yes. So all 3 of them appear to work. We're just now determining which. Oh, Just has one screw. Which will be the lucky one to be the one that helps save other machines. This one's kind of dirty. Ooh. Okay, there is reason to pick this one, I think. We'll see. I can't see yet what is what, but what I can see, which leads me to think they're socketed, is we have this shield. This was put on later machines. Mighty fine idea. To have some sort of heat dissipation for every single main chip. And notice the enclosure for the video is gone. I'm not sure. This is assembly 250425. Alright, so this is hopeful. I seem to remember, maybe, possibly, that these were more likely to be socketed. Which we shall see, which we will see. Certainly the other thing that these will have is more white goop. Oh yes. Alright, of course, I do not want to lose the screws. This thing, a very handy thing. Oh yeah, lots of white goop. Alright, I need to censor this carefully. See this? That's the underside. This is a good thing. I would say the cardboard stuff that earlier 64s had was crap. I would say, if ever you have a chance to find, if you don't have any of these, they seem to fit inside a regular machine. I guess though, well, I don't know how they would do with the video chip in its normal configuration, but certainly, just looking at the way this is, and the way things line up, even if it had the enclosure, it might be okay. And you know what, if it didn't, if it doesn't fit, snip a little off. You know, the video chip has already got its heat sink. Anyway. Ugh. White slime. And yes, the white silicone, I think it is, paste is handy. It is. It's funny. It's not on every chip here. I'm going to put this just down on the 1084 monitor that is suspect. So let me gaze fondly upon this. As you can see, every major chip is in the socket. Every single one. This is what I was looking for. Because this, in fairly short order, fairly quickly, fairly efficiently, I should be able to do quite a bit of testing of things. I should. So, oh, I should turn it back on. I should just make sure it's still happy. It's still happy. While I'm putting these other potential machines aside, I'm going to just put the dead test cartridge in. And I think what I will do, that's not the right trick, is I'm going to at least put one saying. I'm going to at least put one screw into these so that they are not going to fall apart. So, we have 3 potential machines for this, but this is the one to do. Ah. Alright, I'm going to put the screwdriver here for the moment so I know that's where it came from. So soon, I think I have it hooked up, soon the SID chip should do its thing. It should. I think I'm going to, just while waiting for this, I'm going to get up. Uh-oh. I don't hear. Oh, well. Yeah. The volume was all the way down. Anyway, what I'm going to do, just because I know this white stuff is important. But for this stuff, I can always put some more on. So it helps me make sure I can see what chip is what. And not get slimed. Now, should I really be doing this when the machine is on? Maybe not. Maybe not. So, this is doing its thing again. It is. Perhaps. While we're here. Perhaps while we're here waiting for the sound check, I'll shoot a picture of the shield. I'm assuming it has a part number of some description. I have talked to people who have put fans inside old 64s. Sounds like a good plan. Let me just see if I can see a part number. I do not. But there must be one somewhere. Anyway, this, of all the shielding, looks to me the most efficient and the best and the most helpful. It does. Oh, I'll hold it up one more time. Look at that. Yes, it is dirty on the other side. But that stuff is supposed to be there. That it helps dissipate the heat, and heat is the enemy. Enough. Perhaps too much. I will turn the volume down a little, but up enough. Okay. So, look. Here's a 64 that's never been opened. Never. I think we'll have to do a magic eraser episode because although this looks dirty now, magic eraser will take it all. It's only missing 2 of the feet things. Okay, so this is off. This, I think, can sit here. Now, this has been a success. There's just one thing. Somewhere here. There it is. This is a very important thing. I have a screwdriver farther up that I've been using. It has a plastic handle, but it has too much give. There is a little screwdriver. Perfect for chip extraction with care. Now once again, if you're not comfortable doing this, don't do it. Just don't. Have somebody you know who is comfortable pulling out chips do things like this. And I'm just looking at the board a little farther. It's looking good. I wish more of the other chips were in sockets, but this is potentially a board that I will unsolder every single chip and put in a socket and use it as the test board. We shall see. We shall. Well, just let me just, okay. Oh dear. Whoa. I can't reach, I can't reach. Oh. 1, 2. Okay. So, go for the big screen. Should come up. Still got, there we go. There's the dead test. So, while this is doing that, perhaps I'll reach over here. This is a machine that I looked at yesterday. It has a number of things socketed, but not everything. Oh, dead cart flashes 7. I wonder if that aims towards a RAM problem. Anyway, this has the 2 6526s in sockets. It has 1 ROM, the 6510, the PLA, and the video chip, not the SID chip. But, as we're here, and it's funny, you know, you always must be careful, because there were versions of the circuit board. For example, this one I'm looking at here, which is not the one I'm going to be testing on, looks very similar to others. It is 250407 revision A, and this one is 250425. But the SID chip, there's the SID chip, and the PLA chip are reversed. And that doesn't mean that, you know, they put them in the wrong spots. They have changed the way they are. I'm just looking at the board here. I much prefer cartridges now that have cases. This one, I love it. It does wonderful things at times. Oh, but it is difficult. So, I'm just going to put chocolate in here for a moment. Make sure that fires up. And it does. Alright. I am thinking what I'm going to do now is just let this warm up a moment, and then I'm going to figure out my method Well, I know my method. My method is test one chip at a time. Because you never know, you know. Anyway, thank you for being here. We're now going to go about the assessment of some of these dead machines and see what's what. So, see how many we can revive. Thanks for being here. Bye for now. Hello. Alright, so I have here a working Commodore 64, all the significant chips, although I suppose they're all significant if they're bad, but all the big chips are in sockets, and I have next to me another machine that does not have everything in sockets, but it has, and it's not working, but it has some of them in sockets. So, the first thing I'm going to do, and by the way, I will only do this one chip at a time. Oh dear. I do believe I feel a sneeze coming on. So here is the PLA chip. I will set it down, and I will go. Now, this is a tricky thing. Tricky on this board. The PLA chip is down here. On this board, the PLA chip is near the top. So these different versions of the boards, if you're not paying attention, you could put the wrong chip in. So the 64 is off, and so as not to get things, I always try and pry ever so gently and wiggle, so as not to get things mixed up. I'm going to put things over there. Now I will look at the pins. You know what I need? I need my glasses. In some ways I like this version of the board better. It has better graphics written on there, but anyway, I have this resolved. Oops. Hello. Okay, so different PLA chip in, turn on the machine. Ah! Alright, that's a good sign. It is. So, I'm not going to take this out as of yet. I'm going to continue to test things from one machine to another. And I think maybe, although probably is not going to make any difference, but you never know, but you know, you never know, you know. You never know, you know. Anyway, I'm using the screwdriver very carefully to get the chip enough that I can give it a little wiggle. So, you know, some of these chips have been in here for 30 more years, so, well, I'm sure they all have. Okay, so that was the 6510. The machine is off. We will pause again. Do the wiggle. Do the wiggle. Do the wiggle. Alright, 6510 out. 6510 in. Checking the pins. Checking the witness mark. turn it on. We're good. Alright. And I think I will do the video chip. I shall. It seems to be giving me a bit of a hard time here. This one. This one is ceramic. Now, pins are good. Must be careful of the proper configuration because they are differently oriented. Okay, we're in, and we're still looking good. So we continue. We have swapped out the PLA chip, the 6510 chip, and the video chip, and they are all functioning. This is good. Now, we can only swap out what's socketed in this point, because we're not going to go for the whole desoldering thing right now, so I'm going to do the ROM chip 901.227-2. The middle of 3. Why this one? Because it is socketed. It's putting up a little bit of a fight, but not bad. Alright, so as always, inspect the pins. Pins look good. My glasses! Oh no. Well, I'll try this one without them. I must have set them down in my travels. We turn it on. We're good. Alright, so far, so good. We're now going for U2, which is the 6526 chip. Once again, gently, but firmly. Some people might say I should not use an all-metal screwdriver, but you know what, for this thing, and these chips, you do need, while being gentle, you need to be firm. So the 64 is off, that's a good thing. Pins. Pins are good. Witness mark established. We're in. We're all good. We're going on. Excellent. Alright, so far, so good. On big chips. As the dead test reported, I think it said it had 7 clashes. This is indeed perhaps an indication of RAM troubles. Alright, so we have U1 out and safe. U1 is another 6526. Computer is off. And those chips handled a lot of, well, the input-output things. The ports, the keyboard, joystick, cartridge, user, data set. Now I'm always very careful. Well, I'm always very careful in every way, but I'm always very careful not to foul up anything else while gently but firmly convincing a chip to come out. For example, there are lots of little capacitors here. I don't want to hurt them. So gently wiggle, look at the pins. We're good. Another 6526 chip. Pins are looking good. The witness mark is good. Going on. Okay, we're good. We are indeed. So, as I look here, we have checked 6 major chips. They're all good. I am going to, just for fun, just put this on the dead test, because this machine has just had major transplantation of organs. It's funny, you know, as I look at this version of the board, 250407, it does have the enclosure for the video chip. It does, and there's a lot of stuff going on in there. There's 4 other little chips and other such things. This version of the board, which is 250425, has very little. Very little. Just shoot a picture of that. It does seem, what I suspect, that Commodore spent a lot of time re-engineering and re-improving and making things, of course, cheaper. Because the 64 in Canada, when it first started out, it was $900. They didn't stay that way. They did not. So, we're going to say Alright, so we seem to have done no harm. We seem. So this is encouraging. It's always good to have answers to whether chips are working or not working. I'm going to take this video chip out of here. It is, as many of them were, I think, anyways, or certainly the early ones. This is from the 13th week of 1983, which is, you know, a year into production. It's ceramic. It is. So, put the original back in, turn it on. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out. I don't believe I had a keyboard with this one. So, Looks pretty good. This was one that would have had the original paper and covered in aluminum foil crap inside. It has these two copper things that held them down, probably to ground them. So what I'm going to put here is check other chips and around. But what this means at this moment, because I'm not doing it now, that means a whole lot of unsoldering, that's a whole lot of time, and I'm still hoping to find my really good soldering iron. This one is going to go in a pile now of machines to be looked at another time, because it's, well, there's going to be a lot of stuff to check. And you know what, I've got to find a better way to unsolder. I like what I've been doing for unsoldering, but this is a whole lot of time to dig into. And swapping out chips is much easier. So, what do we have? We have a 64. Everything in sockets. This is our test machine. And so far, every major chip we've been checking is functioning. So, as I sort things, I am going to have a bin of dead things that need investigation and a bin of things that are alive. And this one eventually will be alive, but right now this has become my star pupil, or my star actor, because it will help with all kinds of things. So, we have not resurrected a machine, but we have found some good chips. I wish the SID chip had been socketed, it is not. So remember, another thing to keep in mind, different versions of the board. PLA chip is lined up with the ROMs and the 6510. Other versions, the SID chip is down below. You've got to watch carefully, and it's funny. Oh, U17, U18, oh, okay, let me just look at this one. Yes, okay, on both versions of this board, I like this one better. It has more lines, but it does indeed make reference to U17 on this board being up here, and U18 being here, and on this one U18 is here, and U17 is here. So, a bunch of good chips, and a machine that needs more attention, but we have some good chips, and good chips may come in handy as we continue to explore more machines. So, thank you for being here. We will continue to explore. Bye for now. Hi. Well, we are continuing on our exploration of these machines. Here we have another 64 hidden inside a big 20 case. But this one has most every chip. Well, yeah, it's got all the major chips and sockets. This is a beautiful thing. Now it is and was missing the SID chip. So we're going to do things a little differently this time. I don't believe that this is going to make this machine work. I just don't believe it. But because that's all that's lacking, and I know I have a good SID chip here, I can take it out carefully, very carefully. Make sure I've got the pins all nice and happy, and I'm going to put it into the board. This board actually, once again, this is one where the SID chip on the one board is high, as in high up along here. On the other one, sorry, this one, the SID chip is high, the PLA chip is low. This one, the PLA chip is low, SID chip, no. PLA chip is high, the SID chip is low. Now, is this going to make any difference to this machine? I do not believe so, because the dead test cartridge told me, it just came up and flashed once, and I believe that that signals RAM troubles. But with the machine all there, all handy, like just with one thing lacking, I just can't resist the chance that maybe this would fix it. But I don't believe it will. So we'll turn on, and we'll look over there, and we'll see nothing. This is exactly what I thought. I'm not at all surprised. I'm not disappointed. Alright. I am going to put the dead test cartridge back in. Yes, it is flashing. And the other thing, I don't know if you can see this, but when I got this machine, it did have a green piece of tape on this RAM chip, which to me indicates that somebody has diagnosed this and they figure it's that RAM chip. So when I do get to this, I will take out that RAM chip and try it. So that might fix this. But for the moment, yes, for the moment, we are looking for things that we can make work right now. And so I'm not going to unsolder that right now. There may be hope. So, what are we going to do? Well, firstly, I'm going to rescue the SID chip. I am. And I'm going to put it back into the board from which it came. Because there's nothing else I can do for that. And then, remember, one chip at a time. One chip at a time. It may be agonizing, it may be slow, but it's the only way to know for sure. Okay, we're back up. Okay, good. So, of course, the first thing to check as I do more, come on, more checking. Will be the PLA chip. 906.114-01. So says this. So with great care, great care, great care, I take my screwdriver. Gently apply it beneath the PLA chip, and then gentle wiggles and out. Now look at the pins. They're all straight. They're all happy. in. And now, we turn this on. Alright. We have a failure. Shocking as that might seem. Okay, we have it in the right way. All the chips, or sorry, all the pins look fine. Alright. PLA chip is defective. Not surprising. Alright, but now, maybe I should have left that SID chip in. Now, of course, I am inclined, although I don't think it's going to do anything, because you know what, I would rather find a board that's working than be endlessly harvesting chips. So, you know, I just don't remember, just because I can't. Try this without the SID. I think it might come up. I've heard of things not being SID dependent. But I saw something funny there. No. Okay. So I know I now have a good PLA chip, and you know what, I think no matter what I do, this machine is not going to come to life now, because I believe it is a RAM issue. I believe it is. Must be careful, don't end. This is still not going to work, but I would give it a try. Oh, yeah, that did some weird stuff. Okay, I see strange things. Okay. Now, I think I might have just fooled myself. I believe I did. But I think I just did. Remember I said you gotta be careful not to switch these chips up? I think I just did. Alright. But you know, the nice thing about these is I've never heard of chips being damaged by putting them in the wrong spot. Okay, so here's the machine. With a fresh PLA, but no SID. And here goes the SID. Alrighty. We're going to put the dead test in. Whoa. And I'm suspecting it's going to flash once. Yep. Okay. We have a bad chip. We do. Which is not surprising. It's always disappointing, but not surprising. If you're ever online, and I suspect most of you are because you're watching this, not a bad thing to look for some of the videos that Bill Hurd has done. He talks about all kinds of things, including all the PLA chips, I figure the chemical composition was flawed, and that is why so many of them failed. I would like to think that at some point they fixed that. But you know, you never know, you know. Alright. So I believe I have just undone my mistake of putting the wrong chip in the wrong socket. And now, this original test machine should come up just fine. And it does. Alright. That is good. Just going to put the dead test cartridge in for a second. So we have found a bad chip. There are many more to check over. Yes. So now, am I going to throw this away? No, I am not. I will set it aside. You know what I think I'm going to do, just for a moment, because I have it here. I'm going to put it in this little bag of screws, which I know the screws are good, but anything bad I'm going to put in there, so they do not get mixed up. And well, this is just double checking itself here. I'm going for the 6510 chip. It is putting up a fight. Remember, it's been in this socket, well, according to this, since 1984. See, one thing you gotta be careful is you don't want to have anything like snap out. So I've got it. Okay, wiggle, wiggle, good. Wiggle, wiggle, good. Okay, all the pins look good. So I'm just right now. It's funny, a lot of these chips in this machine that I'm now testing have a little yellow dot, including the PLA chip. Now, does that mean they've been tested and bad? I don't know. I would like not to think that they're all bad. And I would like to think that if the dead test cartridge is signaling that it has one bad RAM chip that it knows of, that it's not going to be otherwise, you know, completely ruined with bad chips. So the 6510 is good. So I don't know it's good, but the pins are good. Line it up, push it in. Oh yes. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. I'm going to look for a game cartridge. Ow. Oh dear. The machine is on. I must have flipped it while I was doing that. Okay, we don't want to do that. Okay. So the 64 comes up, 6510 is good. We'll leave that on for a moment. And we'll go for a ROM chip, otherwise known as otherwise known as 901.225.01. Copyright 1982. Penny. Just a moment, Penny. Just a... Oh, hello, Penny. Oh, Penny, Penny, Penny. I'm really kind of deep in this machine here, Penny. Do you want to come up here and say hello? I know. Put the machines off and gently. Take out the ROM chip. Checking the pins. Hi, Penny. Come here. Here, Penny. Okay, thank you. Penny, look, I'm changing a ROM chip here. Give me a second, Penny. Okay. Oh. Penny, that's not wise. Penny, that's okay. Why don't you go over there? Oh dear. Alright, so let's check this out. Okay. Another good chip. Maybe I'll just leave that on for a moment and let it. So here we go for another ROM. Oop. Alright, I was not upset because I was just taking the wrong one out. Okay, so now we're going for 901-227. Checking the pins. Pins are good. Checking the pins. Pins are good. Sorry, this one seems, they all look good, it just doesn't feel right. It's like, oh. I see your back. Okay. I think I can these just a little wee bit. Alright, so we're going to line up the one side, line up the other side, push. We're good, we're in, and we're still working. Hi, Penny. Oh, Penny, hang on. You don't need that circuit board right there. You don't. Yep, that's a Commodore 64. That's kind of sickly. Okay, Penny. Alright, so we're doing fine. We're gonna go for ROM chip number 3. Penny, come up. I see you there. Alright, so this is 901-226-01. So we're going to turn off. And maybe because there's less pins, the ROM chips, that one's putting up a bit of a, you find them a little easier. Alright, pins look good. Good. All right, third ROM chip in. We're still up. We're still cooking with gas. All right, we are now down to the two 6526 chips. And we'll just leave that on. So if this was not set up as, oh, you know what, we haven't done the video chip yet. This is not set up as a harvesting operation, but it may end up being that. Because really, it's not that it's not that I don't want sort out whole board things. But testing chips and having a good supply of good chips is not a bad thing. Alright, so this is U2. Going out. U2. Going in. Sometimes. Right. U2. Okay. We're going fine. So far, we've only found for sure in this series of episodes, well, this is just the second machine, one defective main chip. Alright, so now we have U1 6526 chip. These ones, see, we've already had these out recently, so they should not put up as much of a fight. Alright, good chip. Pins look good. They look good. There. Alright. Alright. Well, good. We're getting somewhere here. And here comes the cover. Because this is an older board. It still has the vast shielding. And this chip is severely covered in white slime. But that's good, because that's why perhaps it didn't burn out. Now, off, and out comes the video chip. Now, this is a different configuration, but I have the witness mark sorted. Pins are good. Radio chip is in. Okay. So, yeah. So, we've shipped another board, it seems. Alright. Chips were out. Oh yeah, this is the machine where the chips were all. Remember back, I found them just lying there, no suit. Okay. Chips okay. Check RAM. Tape. Alright, so we have another board that is now stripped of its vital organs, but we're not giving up on it yet. It's also the one, it's a 64 in the bottom of a bit case. So at some point, I will check this RAM chip and put chips back in and see what's what, but not today. So I'm going to start a bin of such boards. I suppose while I'm here, I'll just to make sure that I've done no harm, I will turn this on with the dead test cartridge. And it will wait a suitable amount of time and then come up. Well, there's nothing, well, no, there's more things, but there are things more valuable than a circuit board with all the main chips in sockets, but at this moment there's not much more valuable than that. So, as of now, I have 4 6526 chips, a PLA chip, 4 different round chips, 2 of them the same, 2 video chips, I think that's it, that are good. I'm still looking for places to put them in to make something work, rather than just harvesting. But we haven't got there yet. Not yet. But there's hope. If you remember from previous episodes, there was a lot of machines that I looked at. So I'm still hopeful to resurrect one, some, possibly. Well, I mean, just by swapping chips. I would rather, I mean, I'm hoping to resurrect many more through soldering and desoldering, etc. Alright, enough of this for now. Oh, there's the SID chip. Very good. Until we meet again, keep your screwdriver handy. Keep your marker handy for documentation. And if you're in Canada, yes, keep your stick on the ice. Bye for now.